The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Damn, damn, damn!
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Krellbow. Nice screen.
Yeah.
Anyways, it is Wednesday. I haven't heard from Steve yet. I imagine that he was coming, and he hasn't responded back. I just messaged him, but he got the link, and we'll see if he comes. Yeah. He reached out to me to set this up. He reached out to me to set this up and then doesn't show. Anyways, that mandolin sucks. The mandolin that I use at those gigs is like a cheap Rogue because it plugs in. And my nice breed love that I have right here, I'm not bringing that out to gigs. And that thing stays in tune. What?
At least yours plugs in. Mine's sitting right over here.
Well, wait, this one doesn't plug in. That's what I'm saying. That's why I bring this shitty one.
What does that breed love go for?
Hold on, Johnny Kramer. How was I busting your balls? I wasn't busting your balls at all. Krellbaugh says he's sick of the rain. First of all, let's say hello to Joe. Joe is put a new brick wall up behind him.
It's moving.
Yeah, I got
breathing.
Some kind of delay going on. I don't even
Tear
know.
down the wall.
It's delaying on both of them.
Oh.
I don't know what it is.
Huh.
Dave, how much is that breed love mandolin? What do those go for?
I don't know. I think it was like close to $2,000 when I got mine. But again, I got mine direct through Breedlove. Had a
I know because
discount.
It's weird that even came up because I was just looking on eBay at mandolins today, and I'm like thinking about getting one, but I don't want to spend fucking thousands on one. I just want something that's decent.
I spent $100 on the Rogue one that I take out and gig with. The thing is, if you're not on top of the tuning all the time, like, it's in my car, and then I take it out and I have to tune it, and then it's like,
what's a good middle of the road brand?
Any of like the knockoff Chinese ones, like I don't know if Blue Ridge makes one, but I think any one of those companies, like who makes a mandolin that's cheap? I'm trying to think.
Well, I don't want just cheap. I want good and cheap.
Oh, thanks, Eric Johnson. No, I mean, yeah, they're decent. Like, not like the Rogue. The Rogue's a piece of garbage.
I'm trashing my mandolin here.
What do you have?
I have Rogue.
Yeah, so do I. It's garbage.
Yeah, I probably got the same one. Yeah, well, it's
mine plugs in.
Around on. Yeah.
Somebody was selling it on Craigslist for like $60. I'm like, I'll meet you at a Starbucks and take that off your hands. Cold Rosa says he had a good one for $400.
Yeah, it's not much.
What's the other company besides Blue Ridge that makes the Recording King? They may make one because that's a great company for inexpensive overseas guitars. Their bluegrass guitars are great too. What else has been happening over the week? Anything exciting? Today was a fucking mess of a day for me. I was out running around since 9 this morning and literally just finished teaching at like 8 o'clock on the nose. And now I can relax with a refreshing Pellegrino. It's just been nuts. I just been running around like crazy. So what else is going on today with anybody else here? Joe, what's happening with you?
I literally only made it tonight because an hour before my shift ended, my supervisor pulled me and he was like, "Hey man, you've been doing so great and everything. Why don't you spend the next hour just in coaching so they can't bother you and write out the rest of your shift?" So that allowed me to cook dinner early and do other shit because the last 2 days have been fucking hell. We've had some episodes with Michael.
Oh,
So 6:23 in the morning, same exact time, 2 days in a row. I'm dead asleep. So I don't have to be up till 9:20 and pounding at my door. And got to put my shorts on, and Michael's laying on his bathroom floor. The nurse can't get him up. So to go from a deep sleep to having to lift dead weight, I even said to her, because 2 fucking days in a row, I said to her, I says, "Are you trying to give me a heart attack? You know, waking up from dead sleep and doing this?" So she got banged up. I'm banged up and exhausted. Same old bullshit.
yeah. Hey, Ricky. What about you? Krellbar, I know you've been smoking a
Yeah.
large number of cigars lately. And wait, I know, Joe. What was it you said that what did you dial out of your diet? You said you dialed something out of your diet, I think.
Oh no, I had chicken breast that I hadn't used in a while, and I ran out of ground beef, so I've been eating up the chicken breast, and I don't know why, but it makes me feel 10 times better than when I was having the ground beef every night. So I still have bacon. I'm having my 5 or 6, between 5 to 7 slices of thick cut bacon. I have the chicken breast.
Right.
I have, I put pork rinds back in my diet. I got the fresh mozzarella, and the sour cream. That's basically my entire diet. I got on the scale this Monday, and it was like 3 weeks, maybe a month since I last checked, and the scale was like, "Hey, how about we leave off right where we left off?" And I'm like, "Why? Okay, I feel good though. I'm not going to blame. My metabolism must be fucking like a sloth, but I mean, the activity I'm able to do is different than what I could have done. Like I'm doing my regular job 5 days a week. I'm doing Michael on the weekends. So hey, it's a trade-off.
This week I was 180.2 was my weight this week, which is pretty good. I'm off dairy for the month of October.
I was off for all of September.
What's that?
I was off for all of September, and I'm still off.
Yeah. But to me, I'm just doing it as a test to see where my weight goes. I feel fine on dairy. I feel great. It's just my weight wasn't moving. So I want to see if I can get it down to 175. But other than that, I mean, I feel great. I'm full all the time.
Plummeted.
You look marvelous.
Your weight?
Yeah, I'm trying to put it back on because I've this morning I was like 167.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's
like get that sour cream back and dip that bacon back in sour cream.
Yeah, I want to see not BLT, but it's like I want to see bacon in your hand next week.
Yeah,
it's so good.
But it's weird. It's not the amount. I mean, because like the other day I had like 6 scrambled eggs, then I had like 4 chicken thighs, and then had a steak, and I still lost weight overnight.
6-string Brian is down to 164. What did you start from, Brian? It's incredible.
That's incredible.
Seriously, we got a good little carnivore community here of people that have done the diet and stuck with it. 164. I mean, I don't know how you started at 198. All right, so you're down 34 pounds. And how tall are you? Eric Johnson's Steakums is my favorite way to eat beef cheap. Steakums with salt and butter.
But when I can, I buy
Brian is
meat by the
February
whole.
1st. What does that mean? He's 8 months in. Is that 8 months?
Yeah, that's what it comes out to.
5'10". Okay, 5'10", 198, and now he's 164. That's fucking great, Brian. How do you feel? And are you strictly carnivore? What is it you're doing? It's really good. Yeah, I got a buddy of mine. He's down 75 pounds. Yeah, it's just great. You feel, I think.
I've been doing the OMAD, and I think I've been losing like 12 pounds a month.
So feel great, strictly carnivore. That is awesome. Congratulations, Brian. I'm glad you're following through, and I'm sure you watch the videos that are on YouTube of like Dr. Berry or Dr. Chafee. Great stuff out there. And that's good. That's inspiring to people. Eric Johnson, I make mainly chuck roast. I cook it in a cast iron skillet, and then I just roast it in the oven for 3 hours, and then it's pulled, and then I basically add like water and butter and salt and pepper, and it's like this heavy, soupy, so good.
Yeah, I just made a pot roast, a chuck steak this week.
Yeah, it's good.
I do make it with carrots, though.
I don't. This month I'm not eating any chicken, any dairy. I'm basically BBB and E. Bareback balls. No, that's BBBD.
Balls and
BB bareback balls deep. BBBE is bacon, butter, beef, and eggs, and that's all I'm doing for the month of October.
That's a chant right there.
What's
bacon,
that?
Butter, beef, and that's a chant.
Yeah.
Bacon,
and
butter,
it's
beef,
the
and
last month before I hit a year, because November 4th, I'll hit a year.
Yeah,
so
seems like it was longer for some reason.
Yeah, because I started in November.
you started like a week or two after me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks after me, because I remember you texted me asking me.
I remember.
No, I think it's longer because you keep fucking talking about it.
Thanksgiving
Maybe.
is difficult.
Yeah. It's great, though. The guitologist had a really good video today on the Marshall JMP, the original JCM 800. Oh, my God, Rick Grimes, I could fucking kill you.
Why?
Because he even commented on my thing, the video where I keep saying, stop calling the amp the JCM 800.
No.
It's a series of fucking amplifiers. It doesn't
I
mean
forget what
anything.
series it was.
If he's working on a JMP and it's a 2203, yes, it's the same amp or a 2204. It's the same amp as the JCM 800 2204. Is it the original JCM 800? No, because there were 4 or 5 amps that came out in 1981 as the JCM 800. The model 1959, the 1987, the 2203, the 2204, 2205, and 2210. It's all a series. It's like saying, oh, he worked on a Princeton. It's the original blackface. It is? It's not. There's a million blackface amps. But all those blackface amps have different circuits, and every Marshall amp. And someone said, was it you that also said, well, it's just a modified Bassman? Yes. But it's modified. Therefore, it's not the same amp. If you think like, oh, a Marshall's just a Bassman. Oh, yeah, go get that sound out of a Bassman without modifying it. Good luck.
Yeah, the one he had was a 77 2204.
Yeah,
Mark II.
Every amp is a modified version of another circuit. There is no original circuits. I think it was Roy Blankenship who said that. There hasn't been a new amp since 1965.
Well, an amplifier circuit's an
People all the time
amplifier
sit and
circuit.
say, oh,
It's
the JCM 900 sucks. Or the JCM 900's not as bad as everyone says. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're different amps in the series. The 900 2100 is not the same amp as the 4100. And I wouldn't even for a second compare the two. They're not even close. Can they
I mean, an
sound
amplifier
similar?
circuit's always an amplifier circuit anyway, regardless. I mean, it depends how you cascade them and depends what components you use in it. That's
Right, but the
that's only difference I
4100 runs everything off op amps. It only has one tube that it goes into and cascades into op amps. It doesn't even cascade into another tube.
Well, an operational amplifier is basically an analog amplifier built into a digital chip with the transistor in the chip. So.
Thank you, Dr. Science. The point is it's not the same circuit.
Mr. fucking Wizard.
I'm telling you, it's not the same circuit. You're like saying,
No,
it's not
I'm
the same
just-
circuit, but a circuit is we get it.
I'm just agreeing that, you said there's been no new amplifier circuit. Well, technically, I mean, like an amplifier circuit's an amplifier circuit. There never will be a new one, just different arrangements of it.
If Bingham can build one,
Right, exactly. No, but I'm just saying, stop calling the fucking amp the JCM 800. It isn't an amp. I see a guy who does a repair. He's like, I'm repairing a JCM 800. Big deal. What fucking amp is it? How come when he repairs a Fender, he doesn't say I'm repairing a Blackface? Blackface had a shorter window than the JCM 800. JCM 800 was out for 81 to 90. The Blackface is out 65 to 66? Right? 2 years or 3 years tops? Late 64? Right? The brown face was before that. Now, if you want to say he plays a brown face Princeton, that makes sense. Because
Black
now you
face,
differentiate.
brown face. Why is Fender so racist?
They just are. Oh, no,
face,
they have the
blackface.
silver face.
That's
And
age
they have the Silver
discrimination.
Surfer.
Hmm.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is it's like people are just, I can't take it anymore. With the JCM 800, it's like, it's the greatest amp. Oh, really? The 2203, which in my opinion is the best amp in the JCM 800, was out for 5 years already under the JMP moniker. And the only reason why he changed the fucking faceplate was that stores wanted to know the difference between the ones that Rose Morris was selling and the ones Marshall was selling direct, because Marshall became their own distributor. It's like, are you kidding me? There's no difference. You don't have to make a big deal about the JCM 800 2204 versus the JMP. If Guitarologist is working on a 77, there's no difference between that amp and an 81, other than the than the gold face. But it's a lot different. 2203 and 2204 are catalog numbers. By the time they get to 1981, the catalog numbers are done. So the 2210 and the 2205 have nothing to do with catalog. That's just because the 2203 and you had the 2204, they figured they would make a 2205 and just say that's the 2-channel 50 watt. And then the 2210, they were like, well, that's the 100 watt 2-channel. And those 2 channels are not really the same circuit. It's not like it's a 2-channel. It's not like it's a 2-channel 2203. There are differences in values in some of the things which make the amp sound different. Because I love when people are like, oh, it's basically the same circuit. Well, they change a couple of values on resistors. Really? Yeah. Go send your amp to fucking Friedman. Go pay $400 to go have your amp modded. He's all you're going to do is just swap out a couple of resistors.
Yeah.
That's all he's doing. And you're making it like, oh, it's the same. It's not the same circuit. That's what makes it different. You know what I mean? It's insane. That's why I said in my little short on YouTube, I said, when saying you have a JCM 800 to me is like telling somebody, hey, I bought a guitar. I bought a Fender. Which one'd you get? I got the American series. Oh, great guitar. Fuck is it?
The one with 6 strings.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's like, and I got to tell you, somehow I got roped into being in this Marshall group on Facebook. Like somebody kept asking me to join, a friend of mine. He's like, no, come on. It's a good group. And every asshole's, it's the same thing every time. I'm thinking about getting a JCM 800. Do they sound good with the 2x2? I'm like, you fucking dickheads. You're all dickheads. Unbelievable.
And that's what you typed. And you're all dickheads.
Yeah. Yeah. Unbelievable.
I remember when I first started going into these rooms on Harmony Central, I actually had a legitimate amp question. Went to the amp room, and oh my God, what a bunch of fucking people with their heads up their ass.
Always.
It's like telling me, "Oh, you're using the wrong tubes." Using my only question was that I had the PV Triple X, and it had Sobtex in it, and they just bias cold. You couldn't get them out of, friggin' to the point where you wanted it to be. I wanted around like I think it was like 35 milliamps, and I only go like 28, 29. And so, someone finally told me, "Well, hey, get some." These tubes, they'll bias a little hotter. But
Yeah. Well, it's just like I say. I mean, you figure in a Marshall group that everyone's going to know the amp, and know what they're talking about. And
they do.
No, in fact, the other day somebody posted something about ordering a JCM 900 and which one should he get. And the guy basically was like, well, the circuits are really the same. One's a 2-channel, one's a 1-channel. And I'm like, this is how people think of these amps, that it's the same. It's not like the circuit's not even close. One has all op amps. It works almost like a tube-driven pedal, which is the 4100 or the 4500. And the other one is really like a 2203 that has an added circuit for clipping diodes. And in the SLX version, it's an extra 4th tube like the dual rectifier. But I agree, Ricky. I like the 2100 because I look at it like if you need that extra harumph, put a Boss SD1 in front of it.
Mm-hmm. Harumph.
I didn't get a harumph out of him.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's my rant on amps. Most people think of the recorded Marshall tone, don't realize it's thin and harsh. Oh, 100%.
Hmm.
And I don't know if anyone's watched Jim Lill's video on microphones. It's fantastic.
Not yet. Is that new?
Yeah, it's fantastic. But it's something I already knew because I knew there used to be a guy years ago named Palooza who used to make a knockoff 251, which is a Telefunken microphone. And I think the guy was based in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. But the mics were called Paloozas. And he couldn't sell any of them. He was selling them for like $800 or something. And he couldn't sell them. And then people started buying them and he raised the price to like $1,800. This is all back in 2001, 2000. And all of a sudden now they're sold out and they're on a waiting list when he raised the price. Because when they were cheap, nobody thought they would be good. The same thing I believe happened with Lawson mics, who does all the Neumann clones. But anyways, it's a great video just to show you how bullshit most of the mics are, what they do. And I thought it was very interesting. But most guitars, when you record them, actually, not only just when you record them, but when you EQ them in a mix, you have to EQ them thin. You know what I mean? You have to thin them out. And when you don't, and you get that underwater sound, I'll tell you right now, your record's not going to do well. You look at all the early Judas Priest records, that sound, or the Michael Schenker records, that amp on those albums sound terrible. When you get to even the 1981, but when you get to the Scorpions, when they start doing the Zoo, it starts to brighten up.
What would you say would be an album where you think the amp sounded perfect?
I think Back in Black has a great sounding plexi tone.
Pick a band and give me an example of the album. This amp sounded like shit, but on this one, they fucking nailed it.
Well, sure. I could just take any Judas Priest. You listen to Sad Wings of Destiny, and the guitars sound terrible. Then
Sad
you go
Tone of
listen
Destiny.
to But
they're so much tighter than the guys in Iron Maiden.
Right. But then you go listen to British Steel. Actually, you could just take British Steel and listen to the album. But what's the album before British Steel?
Point of Entry.
Delivering the Goods.
Oh, no.
Hellbent for Leather. Whatever it was. It had different names depending on where you were.
The Point of Entry. How did we not know?
Right.
Well, 81 was. Yeah.
But yeah, if you listen to the Hellbent for Leather record and then listen to the album after that, what is that called? British Steel. Fantastic. I think AC/DC's Back in Black has a great tone. I mean, there's a lot of great records, and it's funny, just listen to like, if you want to hear what I think a bad guitar tone is, I'd say listen to any UFO record. And not to blame Michael Schenker, I just think the production on those band stuff is not great.
Now, is that something that they could ever fix? Like a lot of the times you see the remastered.
They would have to go in, I think, and remix and remaster. And you would have to go in with fresh ears trying to change the sound.
Have you ever
As far
heard
as that's what
like,
I would...
oh shit, the remaster sounds 10 times better than the original?
Well, remastering is not remixing. So remastering is when you go and you take the final 2-track stereo mix, and then you put it through its compressors and EQ, and you EQ everything as a stereo image. Like you're really just working with what you hear. So you can, with the EQ, you can bring out certain instruments and you can bring certain things out, but it's not, you don't have the full range of a mix. The mix is already the mix. You're just working within the parameter of, you have a stereo track. It would be like if somebody gave you a CD and you imported it into your computer, and now you're trying to manipulate those, by adding compression and adding, that's what mastering is. So, and it's usually done to make a record sound cohesive. Everything sounds together. Every song has a flow to it. It sounds like it was recorded at the same time. But remixing, I think a lot of people should do. Like when I think, I always say if Zeppelin ever goes and remixes the Into the Outdoor album, they got to fix the tuning on some of the songs for the vocals. Yeah, I would agree with AC/DC. I think anything after from Fly on the Wall after, I pass on his guitar tone because it sounds like he's using a distortion pedal or he's using something for added gain. But it no longer sounds like the 59, model 1959. Early Rush, Pretty Bright and Trebly. When you say early, what records? Because I'll tell you, 2112 definitely has a darker sound than, say, Permanent Waves or Moving Pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Moving Pictures guitar sound is way brighter than 2112. Yeah. Well, Fly By Night, I don't think it's recorded poorly. But yeah, I mean, EQ-wise, that's something I think that can be fixed in a better mastering. Or, I mean, was that Terry Brown?
Yeah. All the early stuff was.
Yeah. Because I thought Terry Brown was great.
Yeah, no. Permanent Waves has a great guitar tone, I think.
Yeah, sorry about that, Johnny. You know what I did was I went on their Wi-Fi, and I shouldn't have. Usually I just use 5G, but I used their Wi-Fi, and it was a mistake because, yeah, it was crapping out. Not good. But yeah, I mean, I had it on a chair, and I had a stack of menus holding it up, and people were cool. They were dancing, but nobody knocked it over. It was a fun night. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think what's on Fly By Night. Does Fly By Night have Beneath Between, or is that on the album before? I can't remember what's on Fly By Night.
Bytor and the Snow Dog.
That's the one that came to mind for me. Yeah,
yeah, and Beneath the and Anthem is on that, right? A Best I Can.
Anthem, Best I Can, Beneath, Between, Behind, Bytor and the Snow Dog.
Yeah.
Fly By Night, Making Memories, Rivendell in the End.
Oh, Rivendell's a fucking dirge. Is Rivendell the slow acoustic song? Or is it a song?
It's named after the Elven City in Lord of the Rings, so it's probably a dirge.
Yeah, it was terrible. There's a few songs on those early records I did not like. What did you guys like better, Fly By Night or Caress of Steel?
I couldn't even tell you what's on Caress of
I
Steel.
wouldn't even
Oh,
know what the fuck you're talking about. Probably
Caress of
Fly by
Steel
Night
is
I'm
like-
more familiar with.
Caress of Steel was like their first entry into like the kind of epic,
Aggressive.
like one-sided thing. You know, it's got
So you like Caress of Steel better?
well, that was like their most poorly received album.
I
mean,
love that. I think it's better than Fly
Yeah.
By Night. To me, it's
I
their
do
first
too.
great album.
Yeah, and they called that tour the Down the Tubes tour because they thought that was
Yeah.
their last album. And then when they did 2112, they're like, you got to give us a hit, and they're like, we're just going to do what we want to do. If we're going to go down, we're going to go down the way we want to go down, and it blew up. And after 2112, the record company never got to hear anything they were doing before they released it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
The
Still
best
Days.
Steel Day.
The Still
Yeah.
Days on Caress of Steel, right?
Yeah,
Necromancer, yeah. Lakeside Park.
The Necromancer. Think I'm Going Bald.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Lakeside
Fountain of
Park, did you
Lambeth.
say?
yeah.
yeah.
And
What else
Fountain
is
of
on it?
Lambeth. Fountain of
Oh,
Lambeth.
Fountain of Lament.
Lamneth.
Lambeth.
Lamneth.
Is it Lamneth?
Yes.
Yeah.
I must be excellent. I kind of spell it wrong.
This
Go on.
excellent.
Yeah. What else is on it?
That's it.
That's it.
It's
Oh, okay.
not a lot of songs.
I remember
Yeah.
seeing them on have you guys ever watched the documentary where they, were talking about the early tours with Kiss, and they're like, yeah, we played Caress of Steel for Paul Stanley, and he didn't get it. He was just like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
This isn't The Elder.
Yeah.
I saw something on YouTube where it had Gene Simmons. They asked Gene Simmons why they didn't sue Bruce Springsteen for ripping off I Was Made for Loving You. In some song called Something Sheriff. I don't know what it was called. Either way, I'm like, he's like, we like Bruce Springsteen, so we don't sue. Maybe because you stole Shandy from Bruce Springsteen,
Here's the trade-off.
right? It's a
See,
Mr.
I
Dog.
wouldn't know that because most people that listen to Kiss would not listen to Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. Well, I saw a breakdown once of Shandy, and it said Paul basically borrowed Joe Walsh's Tomorrow and Bruce Springsteen's song called Shandy. And it's like, so these guys are like, oh, we like Bruce. We don't want to sue him. No, we stole from him. That's all they didn't want to say.
That song sucks anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Andy.
God, that
Oh
was
my God.
terrible.
what's that, Shandy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Garbage.
awful. On Unmasked, Unmasked is almost unbearable.
Oh, it is. It's unbearable. Exactly. I remember it because that was the end of my Kiss phase right there. It was
Me
like,
too.
I got that album and it was like, oh,
Yeah, I think
it's over.
that's when my brother started
Yeah,
getting
I
out of
never
Kiss.
got
too.
anything after that. And then I remember seeing them on, I think it was Kids Are People Too, I was 12 or 13, and they came out with music from The Elder, and they had those short hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank God I stopped listening to them because they're all fags now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The worst thing
Folks,
they
you
ever
can-
did was
can
start
use it.
appealing to little kids, back when they were like in the silver leather and studs and all that shit. And they were just like more like, the teenagers were into them, but when they started appealing to little kids, it was over.
When they came out and they were like,
Kiss. That's the name. Kiss. They
this
made
is the
Kiss.
new guy. He's the Fox.
Oh, Jesus.
What's the faggy guy with the star in his eye? Oh, you're the Star
Dark Car.
Child? Okay, we got the Fox now. We're
Dark
really
Child.
trying to appease
They were
fucking
upping
young
their game.
metrosexual. Yeah. Why does Kiss always say everyone big that played wanted to be in Kiss? Oh, yeah, they do. They always say Eddie Van Halen wanted to be in Kiss. And
There was one
Yeah.
other big one that it's not coming to me, but I remember seeing somebody else say, they said that he wanted to be in there too.
he must be dead because they only come out with that when the people die. When Jimi Hendrix died, Gene Simmons came out and said he wanted to be in Kiss. He said he was sick of playing to adoring fans and really wanted to put on makeup.
Yeah.
Wanted Kiss to be in blackface. Look, I enjoy Kiss. Let me be clear. I like the first 3 records. That's it. First 3 records.
Well, and Alive.
I do like Alive. Yes.
Alive is that was the entry because you got Alive and then you went out and bought the other 3 and go, why does this sound so shitty? Because the recording was terrible. And it
Burley
sounded
says
so like
early Rat and Roll was fairly bright. Early Rat was bright. That's why they sold records round and round. That's what people want to hear. They want to hear it clear, not this big fat guitar tone that makes guitar players happy. Think about
bad
that.
production. Friggin' hotter than hell. That's bad
Yeah.
production. The fucking
Dude,
drums
Those
on
guitars
that.
are fat sounding.
Yeah.
Warren DeMartini wanted to be in Kiss. You know?
He did. And Kiss. Oh, but though that band was bright. They were all at that point starting to catch on how to produce. The only thing they couldn't figure out was they were putting too much reverb and chorus on everything back then. You know? You listen to like Dawkins.
Oh,
Which
geez,
reminds
Dawkins
me,
was awful.
Has
Yeah,
anyone noticed that
reverb.
the picture of Jukebox Jimmy in the intro of the show, he looks just like George Lynch?
No.
Look at it. When you look at that picture next time, go, oh, okay. Yeah, he looks like George Lynch. In that picture, I'm not saying he does any other time, but in that picture, it's like, wow, it looks like George Lynch sitting there.
Yeah. First album especially was a little rough on the ears. Is that the album with Round and Round? If it is, I disagree.
Wait, is he
I mean, I
talking
don't think it holds up to today's standard, but it was mixed like a.
No, that was Out of the Cellar. Their first one was more like an EP. It was the one with just like the,
Yeah.
the foot.
Well,
and
an
the
EP
rat.
is not the first album. That's why I was saying, isn't the first album Round and Round?
Yep.
It's Out of the Cellar, which
Out
had
of the
Round
Cellar,
and Round
yeah.
on it.
You're right. What's Sweet Cheater? Are you talking? Is that a demo record? The first EP wasn't that a demo where they did Back for More? It was like
Yeah.
on the equivalent of, you know what? Also, if you want to hear horrible production, Queensryche's EP, and then The Warning was okay, but then you get to Rage for Order, and it's like, oh, here's what the band should sound like, and then they just continued that sound with Operation fucking Mindfuck.
Operation Mind.
Yeah, the first. Yeah, the Def. I love that first Def Leppard record with It Don't Matter.
On Through the Night.
On Through the Night, I think is their best rock record.
Well, their first 2 albums were really good, and then they lost me. I was like, On Through the Night and High and Dry were good records.
I think they're great, but I do think
Well,
Pyromania is
Pyromania.
good. I just think it was more poppy and shticky compared to the first 2,
Exactly.
and then
Well,
Hysteria
sucked.
is like.
Front to back
like-
sucks.
Most of the songs on the record are just fucking produced to the nines. I mean, it's like you can hear the money coming out of the mixing board.
Mm-hmm.
So much. It's I would call that a crafted album. I don't think it's a bad album, but it's a crafted record. Like that was work. That's not what the band sounds like.
Well, they had the Pop You Move with Pyromania, and then they doubled down on it and went full retard.
Yeah.
Don't ever go full retard.
I learned that watching a movie called
Tropic Thunder.
You know it. But no, so it's crazy. But like, yeah, I mean, if you look at, I mean, if we're strictly talking production, you want to hear great production? I think Soundgarden's Bad Motorfinger sounds great.
Hmm.
I think, and the album after that sounds great. Down for the Upside.
Yeah.
I mean, not Down for the Upside. I mean, Super Unknown.
Yeah, that's Super Unknown.
Great. Just great. I guess we're not getting Steve tonight. I have not heard back, and this would be a little crazy.
Fucking Steve, man. What the fuck? God damn it. Ghosting us on his first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is why I always hate having
You
guests.
get the
that
Irish
really
goodbye
wanna-
without him even getting there.
When people say they want to come on the show, it's like, what do I got to do? You're going to just be there? No. Well, all right. So it's like, make me do work, make me set up the advertising, do the artwork for the page, and then it's like,
Yeah, and what's funny is that he reached out to you. It's like you
Yeah.
didn't ask him; he asked you.
Yeah.
So
anyways.
when he calls you back,
Neon
He's
Nights
gonna
has a
come on
killer.
right
The
now.
whole Heaven and Hell album is fantastic. I think Heaven and Hell is a great produced record. What I was saying is about when you have that big fat tone versus the brighter tone, the record doesn't move as much because people, it's not as pleasant to listen to. And you can say what you want about the songs, but if you listen to even Peter Gabriel's solo career, the third album sounds better than the first, second, and fourth. And then So comes out, and it's like, oh my God, that's what a record should sound like.
I thought the guitar sound on Mob Rules is actually more to my liking than Heaven and Hell, even though I love both albums.
I think they're both produced by the same guy, though. It's Martin
Yeah,
Birch,
Martin
isn't
Birch.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he produced all the Maiden stuff, like the 80s Maiden, which I think is great. You know, it's definitely a sound. He told me the fourth, Eric Johnson, so I don't know. Nah, I told him 5:30 his time.
Well, he way fucking late.
Yeah.
Stuck in
It's
traffic.
all right. Whatever. What am I going to do? You're stuck with boring me tonight, folks.
Why isn't Jerry ever here anymore?
Jerry works at a car dealership, and he gets out about 8:30, 8:45, and I think he either gets home and has to deal with his daughter and stuff like that. But he comes on when he can. I saw Jerry. It wasn't last week. The week before. Saw him the week before. The show will go on. It always does. Johnny Kramer's in the chat, folks. I don't know if you guys ever get a chance to watch Johnny Kramer's channel. When he plays his guitar by the firelight, he's swooning all the ladies. And then sometimes he goes off on killers in the news. And all I have to say is buckle your seatbelt and get yourself some smelling salt so you can stay awake. It's very difficult. Now I'm busting your balls, Johnny.
No, I'm subscribed to him, but he doesn't pop up in my feed.
Yeah.
So are you going to plan anything for the like a Halloween show last week of the month?
Let's see when the show falls this year. I don't really care for Halloween. Halloween is on a Tuesday. It's the night after. We can move it. We can move the show to two. If you guys want to do a Halloween thing, I don't care. We can move it.
I didn't mean on the day, but I mean,
yeah. But we could move it to the day. It's only one day ahead. November 1st falls on a Wednesday. When's the 4th? Saturday. So November 3rd will be my 1 year anniversary on Carnivore.
I think we should do a show the night before Halloween.
That would be Monday the 30th. We can do that.
Yeah. We
can move that to Monday.
Get a special guest like Buckethead.
Hey,
come on the show.
I'll get a chicken bucket down the street.
Right. Buckethead's only going to talk through hand communication, and Krellbar can't make it that night. And don't mind that that Buckethead's going to be filming from Krellbar's apartment.
Yeah. Not only that, there's going to be chicken in it while I have it on. I'm going to be eating it during the
What's
show.
in the bucket? No, we could do something like that. The show's on Wednesday. What the hell is Yeah, I'm not a big Halloween guy. I don't care. Women always love Halloween. I get to dress up like a slut.
Yeah, it's not
That's
fucking
good for you.
Halloween. That's bullshit.
I'm a witch. Oh, really? A witch that wants to
a
get fucked
cunt.
by every dude?
Nothing pisses me off more than people dressing up like cops and doctors and shit and calling that a Halloween costume. It's like, you're a fucking idiot. You don't even know what Halloween's about.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
It's about
no scare,
horror.
not like a right. It's exactly.
Oh,
They
look,
just
I'm
want
a-
to play dress up, and I got no problem. Like I don't care. Like
Oh well,
I-
I did go as a kid. I did go as Groucho Marx in the Unknown Comic, and I went as a pimp one year.
that is scary.
Speaking of
it's-
horror, I went nuts the other day. I got to, I get you know what voodoo is, right? VUDU.
No.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like three for $5. I'm like, oh, classic old horror movies. Fuck yeah. I
Oh,
added,
wait a
like,
second. I watched
20
a horror.
movies. What'd you
I
watch?
watched a horror. I watched. I gotta think. Oh, Evil Dead, the new one.
Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah,
I
right.
like it.
No, not Rise. It's just called Evil Dead.
Oh,
Okay.
that was the one back in
remake?
2013.
But that's
Yeah.
not
Yes.
new. That's 2013.
That-
Yeah,
that's-
that's the,
I mean, it's the newer
was
one,
good.
not the Evil Dead from the 80s.
Yeah.
right. It's the one with
Yeah.
the chick instead of.
What did you
Ash.
think?
Okay, you want to know what I thought? It wasn't good. Here's what I thought. Great premise in the beginning. They wrote me in when first of all, the girl says, like the girl, and this is a spoiler for anyone that wants to watch it.
Yeah.
It's from 2013. You had your fucking window. All right, so they have the girl. She's the father's gonna kill her, and she's like, "Daddy, I just want to go home." And then she's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you." I was like, "Okay, you got me. I'm roped in now. I'm watching this fucking thing. This looks good."
The gore took it to a new level. Though.
Now they
I mean,
have the
like,
girl who's a junkie, who they're all there to try to get clean. Another great
intervention.
concept.
Yeah.
Great concept, because the second she
yeah,
wants to
take
get
her a
out of
cabin
there,
in the woods.
they're going to say, well, you just want to get it clean. You just want your junk. Another great concept. Unfortunately, it just became this guy's looking at pictures. Years ago, there was a porn movie. And I forget what it was called, but it starred maybe not Barbara Deer. But anyways, she was like, oh, let me show you some ideas of my country club or whatever it was. And there's a picture of a sauna. And the other girl's like, oh. Then they cut to a scene of a sex scene in a sauna. But I'm like, it's a fucking Bob Ross sketch of a sauna. Like, this is your business plan? Well, this book was just like, it looks like a fifth grader who loves horror movies drew everything in the book. There's no explanation of the book. Oh, it just has random. And then the monster sometimes was scary, but sometimes it was not. You know what I mean?
I saw it that one time. I went to movies to watch it, and I just remember the gore being at a new level. It's like going, oh my god! It's like where her head's freaking hanging off and shit.
If you want to see new level, did you guys watch the seasons of Ash versus the Evil Dead?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
love
God.
that.
It's fucking phenomenal, man.
I have all 3 seasons on Voodoo.
And
with
they-
Lee Majors.
oh yeah, Lee Majors
This
is
is
his
father.
dad.
As his
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah, that the ones that stands out the most is when he's in the morgue and he winds up with his head through the guy's asshole and it's pierced wang is fluff. It's like next level shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like.
Like I
the
said, I
remake.
thought it was cool.
It's grown on
Sorry.
me.
Say it again.
I said I didn't like the remake, but it's grown on me for the, like I say, the level of gore. It's entertaining. It wasn't great.
Right. To me, it was just like I
made
just
me a
felt like
little
the book could have been
on
explained
edge.
better.
It's like I mean, there was uncomfortable gore in there. It's like, oh my god.
I just didn't understand some of what the point was. The thing wanted 5 souls. I didn't get it. I was just like, there wasn't a backstory on the beast. And it comes up from the ground and she cuts it in half with a chainsaw.
I only saw it once and I don't remember it that well. Because,
Yeah, it was just
Well,
like,
it's not.
It's part of the
suggestion.
canon. You take for granted it's a Necronomicon, and that the Evil Dead isn't one beast. It's just this
Yeah.
all-encompassing
What
entity that
she-
can
yeah,
show
what
up as
she cut
anything.
off was possessed. It wasn't the actual villain. It's like he was saying, the Evil Dead is like demonic.
And then when there was one girl running and she got stuck in the oven. Oh, never mind. Wait, that was Corey Chase.
Oh my god! Under the bed,
Giving
Every 2
chase
fucking
to Corey
minutes under the
Chase.
bed.
That was for you, Joe.
I watched.
Anytime
one
I
last-
mention Corey Chase, it's for Joe.
I watched one this week. I was like, oh, really? There's a lot of people calling shit movies good. What the fuck was it called? Give me a second. I'll tell you. I didn't like it. The one that I told you to watch, I actually keep wanting to put.
Oh, yeah, I
that
can't
back
watch
on.
it yet, though, because I can't find it yet on the stream.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
The premise is basically a ripoff of this I'll watch tonight. The Nun #2. I got the Equalizer 3 downloaded, Haunted Mansion.
Oh, I want to see Equalizer 3.
Let's
Thing
see.
is, when I get into bed, literally, I put my head down
Oh,
and I'm like,
this is the
and I'm
movie.
like,
No one will save you.
No one will
Greatest
save
fucking
you.
movie I've seen. But that wasn't the one I was talking about. I was talking about the one that was that Kill Bill kind of Till Death Do Us Part. It was
right.
stupid but enjoyable. I watched Blue Beetle this week. It was all right. You know, it was kind of like the Shazam and Black Adam movie. Not
Right.
terrible, not great. It was all right to kill 2 hours.
Blue
This
Beetlejuice.
piece of shit right here. Talk to me. Fucking stupid movie.
Yeah,
I've seen
I had a buddy that talked me into going to see that at the theater.
You saw that one?
I did.
Who
It
the
sucked.
fuck is going to touch something that keeps possessing them by an evil spirit?
Yeah.
And they're going to pass it around like a joint.
And here's another thing. The kid in that, the brother, how much fucking head trauma can that
Come
kid
on,
take?
right? Oh, come on.
The kid's like smashing his head into like fucking
That was
bricks and stuff.
an intense scene. And when she put her arm underneath and he kind of broke her wrist,
Uh-huh.
but she stopped him from doing that killing blow. That was pretty good. But the premise was they try to go for that Twilight Zone ending. Nah, I'm not buying it. I grew up on Twilight Zone. You better fucking step it up.
Yeah. I tell you, I get into bed, I'm like, I'm going to pass out. So I literally watch a couple of people overeating the Molly Schuyler. I don't know if you saw Molly
Yeah.
Schuyler was in Rhode Island in Walpole last
No, I
month.
didn't.
Yeah, she
No, I
ate it at
didn't.
Clyde's on Route 1 in Walpole.
Who is that?
She was in Rhode Island too.
And she said she came up through Providence, and I didn't see where she stopped yet, but she mentioned she drove up through Providence.
Yeah, I haven't
then,
tuned into her channel. in a
And I
while.
watched the guy with beards. What's the guy's name? Something with beards.
Yeah,
He's the British guy, Adam, that eats all the
Yeah.
food.
Why
I watch
do you
him,
let
and
these people eat shit when you don't eat nothing but carnivore, though.
because it doesn't. When I watch it, I'm disgusted by it.
It
It was
was.
nothing I would. It doesn't make me hungry. I just look at it like this. These people are killing themselves.
And that
But
woman
then I watched
that ate
John
that shepherd's
Wolf.
pie in
Yeah, I watched-
3.5 minutes.
Yeah, I
First
saw
of all,
that.
She did the King Kong challenge. I'm not even familiar with that.
You got to deep throat King Kong and swallow everything. What do you mean?
Lost
Ew.
No,
Cabos
but
burrito challenge.
she eats this like 58 fucking pound shepherd pie that's just served on a pizza tray. It's horrible. She's got 6 glasses of water to glom it down. Then they gave her this horrible fucking bread that looked like it was a brick.
Yeah, rye
And she-
bread. Yeah.
Yeah, the rye bread. She's got to eat that too. And meanwhile, the woman looks like someone who's undernourished and dying.
She's totally gaunt. And my brother says, "What do you think she pays for toilet insurance?"
She's gonna break the bowl.
Toilet
I never even
insurance.
heard of this place in Rhode Island. Cabos.
Yeah, I don't know. I know she was at Clyde's. Beard Meets Food. Thank you, Hugh. Exactly. I like watching Adam on Beard Meets Food. And then I watch John Wolf play horror games. And I like
That's a
John
great
Wolf
channel.
because like they do jump scares to him and he's like, oh, that's cool. He doesn't care. He's like, the game's stupid.
No, his greatest videos are the debunking the paranormal.
Absolutely.
The best is, did you see where he goes, this time we're going to debunk a whole season from Netflix?
Yeah, it's great.
He makes me, I actually downloaded that. I actually was starting to watch it one night and I couldn't get back to it. He makes me want to go back and watch it. The shit he pointed out was hysterical.
Oh, he's great. I love the one when he's the guy's like he has the doll and he says, "What the hell's going on at your house? Can you pick up some paint?"
Yeah, that was
Like
great.
you're supposed to get scared from the video, and he's critiquing the fucking house. He's
But
like,
the house literally
gotta
looked like
paint this
something
place.
from Resident Evil.
right, and then he walks into another room and he goes, "Oh, actually, I kind of like this room. This house. He's very funny.
He's good.
But I
He's
like
good.
John Wolfe, and it usually puts me right to sleep. Literally, I fall asleep after like I'm in bed for 40 minutes. I'm like, and I try to stay up, and I'm always like, should I watch a movie? And then when I watch that movie, what did I watch? That Aquaman piece of shit.
Oh God, why'd you waste your time?
The black guy at the end. How is he still alive?
Wait, is this the new Aquaman or the first Aquaman?
The first one, I think. Hey, Bing, what's happening? The first one. The black guy gets that special suit,
Black Manta?
and all of a sudden now this guy can't be killed. He threw the guy onto rocks about 1,000. He made like 1,000-yard toss with the guy. His head hits the rocks. He's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be the main villain in the second one.
Obviously.
And the
It's
funny
just
thing is, I'm thinking to myself, the first movie was so horrible, they're making a second one?
Yeah, that's what happened with the Indiana Jones movie too.
Oh, I'll
where,
resend it
the
to you, John. Hold on.
Villain's on top of a train. He gets taken out by a friggin' signpost at like 100 miles an hour. Okay, he's done, but he just pops up later in the friggin' movie. Just totally.
All right, John, I just
normal.
resent it.
You can watch, Dave. It's on Tubi. I might have told you about it. It's called Eradication. There's literally you could tell they had no money, but they did their best. There's like 3 actors in the whole movie. It's like an hour and a half. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I was like, hey, that ain't bad they probably made it for $16.58.
Plus tax.
I was watching Anthony Michael Hall in an interview today talking about all the old movies. I didn't realize they wrote Ferris Bueller's Day Off for him.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, and he couldn't do it. He's like, he was bummed. He's like, I can't do it. I'm booked on all these other things. And he wrote something else for him that Andrew McCarthy was in. Pretty in Pink.
Oh, okay.
That was written for him
Yeah, because
too.
he got after the Breakfast Club, he got big. So I guess his
16 Candles,
Well, he ended up
Weird
doing
Science.
Weird Science, yeah.
Vacation.
Well, Vacation was before that, yeah.
He turned down Full Metal Jacket.
Hold on, my bad.
What? You want me to mute you?
I had to mute the YouTube version.
Oh no, we didn't catch any of that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so he
Hello,
says
fella.
someone said Chris Valdez says that he had to turn down Full Metal Jacket. What is
That's a great movie.
Yeah, he did.
What
Yeah,
role?
remember he did
Joker?
SNL.
Yeah, 86.
He also did.
Robert Downey did too. Downey Jr. did one year.
Yeah,
Wait, who did you say?
And
Chris
both-
Valdez? Who's that?
somebody in the chat,
Oh,
and both of them were in the movie Weird Science.
Weird Science.
Dirty dishes, pots and pans. How come people don't understand?
What I never got is that Robert Downey Jr. played a bully. That's the most pussy bully I ever saw in my fucking life.
Right, and then he gets bullied on in Back to School.
Yeah.
I love Back to School.
That's a great.
What's ridiculous in Back to School, like when he comes up to the guy, Keith Coogan, I think his name is. I can't believe I'm pulling out these names, but Robert Downey Jr. walks up to Keith Coogan. He goes, "That's Valerie Desmond. Like, she's so hot." And I remember as a kid watching it going, "Who, her? I'll take Adrienne Barbeau.
Yeah.
She's got 16 closets and nothing to wear."
She's also 9 feet tall. Not Adrienne Barbeau, the other one.
Yeah,
Actually,
Valerie
I think
the girl who played Valerie Desmond.
Yeah, what's the guy's name that plays Jason?
Keith Coogan.
Keith Coogan. Yeah, he might be 4.5 feet tall, though. I don't know.
But you know what saves the day is William Zabka.
Yep.
We always
As the bully.
Oh, he's gold. He's
Triple
gold.
Lindsay.
Oh, Keith Gordon? Keith Gordon.
Gordon. Yeah. Keith
Oh, you know the
Coogan
Coogan kid is the younger kid that's in
Adventures in Babysitting.
Boom.
And
Exactly.
Don't
And don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. Yeah, all those fucking things.
Yeah, I thought the name was
Keith
off.
Gordon was also in the movie Christine.
Yep, in Jaws 2, he was in.
I told you once before, never bring up Jaws 2 on this show.
I like Jaws 2.
Electric Boogaloo, Citizens on Patrol.
It really is an electric boogaloo.
That's how the shark died.
Yeah.
I love in Jaws 1, the fucking 400-year-old woman crawls out of the sea and says, "You killed my 10-year-old son."
That's
That
right.
still fucking blows my mind.
That's because
Your
everybody
fucking
in the
pots have been
19...
dried up for 35
she was in the late 30s. She was in her late 30s.
My ass.
That's right, Chris.
No,
That's
she was.
exactly
We
Jackie
looked that
Coogan.
up before.
Yeah,
We
he
looked
was
that up
in the
before.
late 1930s.
Yeah.
And anyone who knows who Jackie Coogan is
Oh yeah.
knows he
yeah.
plays the his greatest role was on the Brady Bunch trying to sue the Bradys. And then when Mr. Brady dropped his briefcase, he looked over.
And Whiplash, he didn't have Whiplash anymore.
God, do I love Jackie Coogan. But yeah, Keith Gordon, William Zabka. Who else was in Back to School? Vincent
Burt Young.
What? Burt Young.
Burt Young.
Kurt Vonnegut made an appearance.
Kurt
Ned
Vonnegut
Beatty.
made an appearance.
Ned Beatty.
In all fairness to Mr. Mellon, it was a really big check.
That's a great line.
Dean
Oh,
Martin.
Thank you,
Dean Martin.
Dean Martin.
Sally Kellerman, yeah. I can't lie to you, Dean Martin. Oh, M. Emmett Walsh. M. Emmett Walsh plays
That's right. He's in everything.
the swimming coach.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Sam Kinison.
There's a
of
guy
course.
in
Sam
Jersey.
Kinison is the
Sam
history
Kinison
teacher.
was fucking great.
Oh yeah,
Wait a minute.
Sam Kinison, yeah.
M. Emmett Walsh's greatest role is in The Jerk, though.
Oh, he's
He's
awesome.
Nathan Johnson.
Yeah. He's great in everything. He's awesome in Blade Runner and in Fletch. Breathe easy.
He was even in Big Stan.
I
don't know.
love him.
I'm convinced in the mid 80s, either everybody that was being cast in movies was 10 years older than they were supposed to be, or nobody aged well in the 80s. Remember the bar band? They're in that college bar and they're watching the band sing Shake It Up Baby, and the guy's all bald, and all the women that are in his band look like they're 15 years out of having their first 2 kids.
I was watching a Mystery Science Theater the other day, and they were like in high school. And the one guy says something, and he's like, "Oh, the pain," because he looked like Dr. Smith, and he's like, "What is everybody?" And the guy goes, "What is everybody 40 in this high school? Everybody looked like they were old as piss."
Yo, that was true though. They had a lot of like people in their late 20s playing friggin' high school kids.
Oh yeah, he's right. Chris Valdez says, "What about in Greece?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ferris Bueller, his buddy there, Cameron, he was 30 years old. What's his Ruck? John Ruck?
He was 30 when they did Ferris Bueller?
Yep.
Alan Ruck.
Alan Ruck.
Alan Ruck.
Alan Ruck. And then in Greece, Jeff Conaway looked like he was hitting 50. He looked younger on Taxi than he did in Greece.
Stockard Channing was in her late 30s.
How old was the Fonz in Happy Days?
Yeah,
Probably in his
wasn't-
30s.
He wasn't supposed to be in high school though. He was out.
Maybe.
Yeah, but
Well, but I think he was their age, wasn't he?
no,
I don't think so.
no.
I think he was supposed to be a little
Let
older.
the pigeons loose.
I always thought he was older because he had a job at it was a
Garage.
mechanic, and he rented the garage above them.
Yeah, not in the early ones though.
There's an Old Navy commercial that airs every once in a while, and the girl that's the spokesperson in it was one of the high school students in American Pie, if you remember American Pie.
Oh yeah.
And she looks like fucking Joan Rivers.
Oh, geez.
And you're just like, how in the world is this chick so old now?
Oh, is that Tara Reid?
No, it's not Tara Reid.
Tara Reid looks awful.
It's
looked good in
whoever
LeBron.
the
She was
girl
cute,
is,
she was
kind
cute
of
for
got
like
like a
2
redhead.
minutes and then friggin'
that's,
just hit the
Allison,
wall.
Allison Hannigan was the girl's name.
No. I know who that is. It's the other one. It's the one who, like, claim. I don't know. I can't. I'll find her name.
Mina Suwari,
I don't fucking know.
the one.
Oh yeah, she was the one in American Beauty.
Yeah, the one from American Beauty. There.
Her name is Natasha Lyonne.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Beverly
she's
Hills.
Yeah, they keep giving her shit on Netflix to do, and it fails after a season, and they give her another one. And
Yeah, she looks aged. She's not even that old.
well,
She's only in her mid 40s.
she's blowing someone to get her jobs
She looks
because I don't know why she's hanging on.
Maybe she's a
Mina
good actress.
Suvari. Oh, I remember this girl.
Yeah, Mina Suvari was in. She did quite a bit. They all kind of just disappeared, but Stifler's the one who probably did the most work.
Yeah, Sean William Scott, but then he disappeared off the face of the earth.
But he made role models, and that's all he was meant to make.
Yeah, that's all he needed to make.
That's all he needed to do.
Yeah, role models is incredible.
Yeah.
Last thing I saw him in was Super Troopers 2.
I did like Jason Biggs and Saving Silverman.
Saving Silverman's great.
Silverman.
Have you guys seen a movie called The Big Lebowski?
Oh, fuck.
No,
Oh,
never heard of it.
You never really? Because I think it's somewhat popular amongst the. No, it's it's an underrated movie though. It's really good.
It really pulls the room together.
It really does. Yeah.
oddly enough, Tara Reid's in there too.
What's
Yeah,
the
she's
name
still
of
in
that is just off the walls. Great.
You're a fucking loser, Lebowski. At least I'm house trained. That's the greatest line right at the beginning.
Oh, fuck.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
There's a beverage here.
What I love about that is my daughter wants to be Jeffrey Lebowski for Halloween. She is
Really?
well, because I always make fun of her because as soon as she's done doing whatever it is that she's doing, she just throws on a robe. She is like this kid that just wears a
Grabs
robe
a White
all
Russian.
the time. So I call her. I always call her Lebowski, and so she finally looked it up and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be that for Halloween."
I have a buddy of mine. He now lives in Santa Monica, but he used to live in West Hills. And his youngest son, every time he was home, would just always walk around in a robe. So I used to call the kid Hef.
Call him.
Because the kid was it was like Hugh Hefner. Kid walks around in a fucking robe all the time. Like, you got to get yourself a pipe.
That's hilarious.
You got to do it right. This kid
Couple girls on you.
comes home from school, gets undressed, and gets into a robe. It's gold.
What's the deal with the robe? I've never had a robe in my entire life. I've never purchased one.
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to take them from hotels you stay in.
I've never done that either.
No, I don't. I don't wear a robe.
Most of the hotels I stay in don't have robes the size of circus tents.
Right, exactly. I was gonna say, you know what? I never like to wear clothes anyways, so it's like I don't need a robe. Like, oh, I'm cold. No, I'm never cold. You guys ever cold? You wear a robe, Matt?
No.
You get
All
some,
right.
get a robe and some house slippers.
Yeah, my ex used to buy me slippers all the time. I'm like, I don't wear slippers.
She was like, I just don't want to see those feet.
Yeah.
I don't want to see my feet either. I wear socks.
Yeah.
My sleeping attire is just a pair of like gym shorts.
Yeah. I just wear the boxer briefs and I'm in.
I just hang my gut over in front of my dick so nobody can see it. I'm like, all right, we're good.
All
Everybody.
righty then.
Well,
that's outstanding.
Yeah.
It's just me and a bucket of chicken like fat bastard.
I can't.
So
get
there's this
down with
girl on YouTube.
Oh, we've changed.
A girl on YouTube watches movies and basically just watches them and it's like, you know, they constantly have to cut because you can't show the whole movie. But it's you're watching this girl watch a movie. So I watched her watch The Big Lebowski the other day. And she also watched Galaxy Quest, which is another great movie.
Oh, it's awesome.
Epic.
Yeah.
Really is great. Just, I mean, just even like the casual thrown away jokes. I know I see you managed to get your shirt off. It's just gold.
Yeah.
It's great stuff.
That was a hell of a thing.
Yeah. That's
That was a hell of a thing.
I like when they all make the trip or whatever and they're all freaked out and friggin' Tony Shalhoub's a stoner and he's like, ugh.
Now, have you guys seen a movie called Lucky Number 11?
Yes.
I saw the
Long
beginning
time
of it, I
ago,
fell
yeah.
asleep.
I love that movie. Have you seen it, Matt?
No.
You got to see it. It's Bruce Willis, Ben Kingsley, Morgan Freeman, and Josh Hartnett. It's great. It's one of my favorites. It's the Kansas City Shuffle. I love it. It's one of those movies. Oh, Stanley Tucci's in it. It's a great cast. I
Stanley.
don't know why people aren't watching it. Folks, once again, I am sorry Steve Rosen is not here tonight.
Bastard.
Oh, wait.
He sent me the picture. By the way, he sent me the picture to post. I asked him to send me a picture to post for the advertising for it. He sent it to me, and no show. I was glad I advertised it.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat here watched Prey?
Excellent.
The Predator prequel?
Excellent. Fucking love it.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's got to be on one of the streaming.
It was
Yeah, I
Hulu.
think it's
It
on
was made
Hulu.
by Hulu.
Oh, I don't know if you guys also know that Fender, and now I'm saying this tongue in cheek because
Princeton.
it's on every fucking channel known to
I was
man.
going to bring this up earlier,
Yeah.
but
Fender came out with a footboard, and no one gives a shit. But they want you to think they give a shit by everyone doing a video on it.
every fucking YouTube guy.
Yeah.
tried to
Was
do
it a
it.
That's
modeler?
how the
What,
industry
they come
works
up with a
now.
modeler?
Yeah, the
Like a
modeler.
Helix.
I think.
Well, talk about being like 10 years fucking behind.
Yeah, it's a very, very much a Me Too product. Fender, even when they execute it well, people don't take to Fender doing that sort of a product. My guess is inside 2 years it'll be off the market.
It's like the
problem-
Cyber Twin.
Right.
The
All
problem
that
Fender-
stuff.
yeah.
They just every few years it's
But
gone.
they were before Line 6 though. With the
I
Cyber
think
Twin, weren't
G-Deck was a decent product.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, but it
I've
you
got
know,
one.
got replaced like everything else.
I've got the first
Right.
one and I still use it all the time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
good.
think the
No, I
G-Deck
think the
is a good
Line 6
product.
Line 6 came out with that AX2 whatever
they? AX2.
before Fender got into any of that.
Really? I remember the Cyber Twin coming
No,
out.
Cybertron was much later.
But
I'd guess it might even be 10 years later.
how Fender doesn't come out like with a limited series, and it doesn't even have to be expensive. Go to Mexico and make it. Make a Vibro King or a Vibro Verb.
The
Make
Cyber Twin was
something-
2001.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that Line 6
So,
was.
and
in
I
the
think
90s.
the Axis was like 2006 or something.
No.
What were you saying?
No,
about-
2000. I'm sorry. Let's see. Line 6.
Dave, what were you
Axis.
saying about a Vibra King?
That's what Fender should be making. Like, make a limited Vibro King. Make a Vibra Verb. Make something that you made years ago that
96.
people want again,
Yeah.
and do a limited run of it. I don't care, but that's what you should be doing. You know, it's doing these like, oh, we want to get involved in, they want to get involved in the import business because that's all that is. It comes from China. They make all the electronics and they're just importing shit. And from China. And I think that
China.
but they have to figure out how do they get the product at a price point that makes sense? Because to me, I think if you could sell a Vibroverb and figure out how to sell a 40-watt Vibroverb for under $1,500, you're in the game. You're in the game. But it's got to be under 15. And you can make that in Mexico. There's no reason why any amp should be more expensive, like a Vibroverb, any more expensive than a Hot Rod Deluxe. It's the same amount of parts. In fact, the Hot Rod probably has more parts. Wouldn't you think, John?
Yeah, for sure it does.
Yeah. So it doesn't make sense. It should be like they could charge $1,400. When they came out with those ToneMaster series, and it's like, here's a modeling amp that does one model, but we're going to charge a full bang for it. Fuck off.
Yeah.
And no
Yeah,
matter
it was
how much the
hot.
captain and Pete try to sit there and sell it as cool, it's not cool.
I remember that, and I forgot it just
Well,
as
yeah.
quickly.
I mean, they're the retailer. They're gonna. I mean, they're just.
Everything's
Holding
great.
the line.
Everything we review is great.
I think they got the user interface kind of right though. That Fender, the new thing, but it again, it's a who cares product, but they took the best of the Helix and the best of the touchscreen stuff and put it together. Great, okay, it'll still be gone in 2 years, but Right.
Right.
I don't know.
How much they
100%.
asking for it?
I don't know, but I do like the fact that the touchscreen stuff's pretty cool, but it's not new. Even the Hotone has a touchscreen, the
Yeah.
Impero. And that little thing for $450 sounds almost as good as a Fractal, which is
$1,699.
all that stuff. All you need to know. I mean,
Holy
all of it.
shit!
People can't afford food, and you're going to charge $1,700. Meanwhile, you got companies like Flamma coming out with the same shit for $200, $300.
The thing is, line 6. I mean, like, you're talking about getting close to like the Axifex price. I mean, for the floor.
Well, yeah,
I mean, I think the floor model for the Axifex is cheaper.
No, it's more. The XFX is like $18.99 or $17.99 for the FM9, and the
This
Quad
is
Cortex
$16.99.
Quad Cortex just came down from $18.99 to $16.99 because they see the writing on the wall with this Fender thing. The Head Rush one's like $1,200. The Helix is what, $1,300, $1,400 right now. I don't even know.
John, who made the G system we used to carry? Remember the G
PC
system?
Electronic.
That was good.
Yeah, it's okay. It had noise problems though.
But it was like just a pedal board controller that actually you could put pedals in the loop. Again, to me, it's like
it's so big. I think I saw Frank Cannon driving down Lincoln in one.
Oh no, absolutely!
It's way too.
The thing
big.
has its own telephone.
Holy shit! Now the best one is that Hotone Ampero because it's $400. It sounds incredible and it's this big.
Yeah.
It sounds incredible too. It's not an exaggeration. If you've ever had a chance, that's worth it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I was looking at that.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So every single time you see one of these guys marketing one of these new devices, you always hear, "Oh, this is our proprietary. It's our proprietary technology to take this modeling." Right? DL, tell me I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
it's proprietary. Well, if it's all proprietary, why do you always end up in the same place? Flat sounding 3D renderings of a twin. Okay. Wow. I mean, you took your own path to get there, but you're still in the same fucking place. Pardon my language.
And to be honest and fair, you can go do a gig with it. If you can play, you can bring anything you want to the gig.
Yeah, of course.
You can make anything work.
Oh, Joe Satriani proved that in the video on YouTube. He was visiting this kid's house, and he's playing. What was that? You know what I'm talking about, Krell. What song would he play? He's playing the shitty guitar through a shitty amp, and it sounded like his rig. And he goes, "Look,
it sounded like shit."
What does that tell you about his rig?
Wow, it sounded good.
No, I do remember that. I do remember that he was playing kids' guitar. That was at his house. That wasn't backstage.
It's a fucking glaring example of the JVM.
So funny. Oof.
Well, the thing is,
great amp.
No, I don't like it.
It had a couple good sounds in it.
The thing is,
that's why I got rid of it.
And again, I think you can take any amp and make it sound decent to a point.
Sure.
And I go to these open jams sometimes, and I see people walk around with these quilters. And they always come up to me, and they're like, "What do you think of the quilter?" Like, they always want to know what I think. And I'm like, "What do you care what I think? You own the fucking amp, not me."
I haven't.
And they're like, "Oh, I'm just curious. Have you played them?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're okay. It's a solid state amp. It could sound good." They're like, "Oh, I think it's good too," And I'm like,
and then I hear Italian them play amp that was all the rage.
And then I hear them play, and I'm like, "You really need to know how to EQ an amp."
Probably Mezzabarba.
No. Who was Greg Howe was pushing them? They were these little.
No idea.
These little friggin'.
That's the line of the night, by the way. Thank you for that. Greg Howe was pushing them.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Who the fuck heard anything from...
Too.
The last time I saw Greg Howe was in the back of Guitar Player magazine in 1987. I didn't even know the guy was still alive. Greg Howe's pushing it. Yeah. Who's following that guy's career?
Yeah, I had no idea.
But you know who?
DV Mark.
Yeah.
I've played one of those. It didn't sound that good.
Those are amps, aren't they?
Yeah. And the one I'm looking at now, I mean, doesn't look like the original ones.
Mark amps that bass players play?
Yeah, Mark. No, that's Mark bass. I don't know if DV Mark is the same thing, but it's got an
Oh, I
equally
thought
bad
it
name.
was. Is Hugh Caldwell, is DV Mark the same as Mark Bass? All owned by Guitar Center.
Yeah, it was like the DV Mark Micro 50.
Let's see.
It was a small little metal encased.
The fuck is that?
DV Mark.
Oh, that was the spring on my
Let me eat.
Yeah.
microphone thing.
The Mark Bass website does not indicate.
Well,
that
I'll
it's
show
the
you
same
what it
thing.
was,
I
and
don't think it is.
I
before
thought
he
Mark Bass
started-
came from Italy.
I don't know. No, Mark Bass does come from Italy. Does DV Mark also come from Italy?
yes,
That's what he said, the Italian manufacturer.
I put in
Maybe it's the same
Link to-
company, and they have two distinct websites. Because they do have two distinct websites for some reason.
Yeah, there was some buzz on those like some years ago, and then they disappeared as quickly as they popped up.
There's
Dave,
always
I was
buzz
saying-
on.
Then
Product
Greg
when
came
people
out with
pay
one
for
that
it.
actually looked like an amp head, a small
Oh, yeah.
amp head.
At the bottom of the website, it says it's the same thing, same brand.
It
But
is?
it's weird. Yeah, it's weird that they don't have like DV
that's
Mark on, and then a separate link right at the top for Mark Bass. It's weird that you have to go and seek out a new website to get the Mark Bass stuff going.
They try to
They're
keep it
ashamed of
separate.
themselves.
You keep it separated.
Yeah, Surfby, Greg's house a Kiesel artist, but I don't. Yeah, for guitarists, but
Oh,
not
this
amps.
is, yeah. Oh,
Friedman IRX was all over YouTube last week. See, I don't
Yeah.
watch any of the. It's funny. I don't watch any of that stuff or pay attention. But Ryan messaged Bingham and I in a private chat and started talking about that. And if you notice, I never responded. I have no time to talk gear. I'm like, yeah, all right. That's wonderful, Ryan.
Yeah.
Good for. And you guys started yapping. And then I was like, what the fuck are they even talking about? Then I'm watching YouTube and it's all over my feeds. And I'm like, if that came in my
you
feed.
make it sound like I had a big conversation about this. and
No,
I
you
don't
made a
think-
comment back. I
Was
didn't respond.
How dare
That's
you
not what you said.
comment
Though. You
back?
said I was yapping.
You guys, well, and back and forth for a minute.
Was there
Yeah. It was at
On-
least,
What
yeah.
was
on
the
the
product?
Freeman thing?
No, not on the
Okay.
Friedman thing, on the Fender thing.
Oh yeah, the Fender thing.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even hear. Did he mention Friedman? I would have no idea.
No,
said
I don't
Friedman?
think he did. I was like, you were.
I
saying
was just
something.
reading what Six String Brian wrote.
All I know about the Friedman thing is it is not, well, first of all, it's not interesting, but every single one of these Friedman fanboys that exist can't stop talking online about, ooh, how do I get the Jake E. Lee sound, or how do I get the Steve Stevens sound, as if they're different.
Right.
They're all convinced that there's a real difference between a BE 100 and a Steve Stevens signature and a Jerry Cantrell signature. There's no difference. It's the same thing. It's like with the switches that are on board, you could get there in any of them.
Right.
These people, and we've talked about this 100 times on this show. The next person who I hear ask the question of, can this do heavy metal? I swear to God, I'm going to lose my mind. Like, yes,
Oh, it
anything.
drives me
You can
nuts.
take a Telecaster and a classic JCM 800 2203, and you could play heavy metal. Yeah, it's an attitude. It's not your stupid.
He said the
gear.
model number.
It'll be noisy, but
It'll be fine. All these people are driving me nuts, though. I actually saw a guy. I follow this one channel because I just, being the industry I'm stuck in. There's one called Everything High Gain, and I'm on that one. And there was a guy that literally asked the question of, can an SLO 100 do metal? And I'm like, is this a joke? The SLO 100 is like the grandfather of modern heavy metal guitar tone. It's the one.
Right.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable looking at all the people's responses. Well, it won't really do modern. You want to do Bubba. And it's like, are you guys all stupid?
They
Yes.
are all stupid.
Yes.
It's unreal.
When it comes to gear, I was just telling before you came on, I belong to a Marshall amplification page on Facebook, and the comments and the questions I'm like, are you guys in 3rd grade? What the fuck is going on here? I'm going to buy a JCM 800. Do you guys think that's the best amp? Everyone's like, yeah, that's the best amp. I said, it's not an amp, it's a series. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's like, what the hell? I can't take it. Mikey's asking if any of you guys order guitars from Zounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have an opinion
of
of
the
the
merchandise?
experience in the past.
Oh, here you go.
It's owned by American Musical Supply. It's a great company. The people are really nice. The buyer, Keith, is a really nice guy. Billy Pyrie is their marketing manager. He's a super good guy. Yeah, I got nothing bad to say about
My last
Zounds.
3
I think they're
guitars,
great.
the Zounds. There's the 6-string bass, the bass 6,
Yeah.
the Steinberger that I got, and that purple V.
Is that a bass or a
Even
guitar
this,
behind
wait
you
a
on the
minute, this
left?
right here.
What is that?
My
What's that yellow
SG.
guitar he's got?
That's
Looks
what
like a
Zounds do.
bass.
What's the yellow guitar you have behind you, Joe?
Not a guitar.
That's
it's
a bass.
5-string bass. The Schecter.
5-string bass? Is it a Yamaha? What is it?
No, Schecter.
Oh, Schecter. Okay.
I got it for my 50th birthday. It was my present to myself.
It's a Shecky.
Nice.
Out of all the guitars I get, when you see the sticker on the Schecter that says "set up to play," they're not lying. It's usually pretty much set up to play.
Yeah.
I've never been to their shop, but I've heard people say before that like the setup shop where they do all the Schecters and the ESPs is pretty incredible.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of times they try to get.
Though. They're across the parking lot from each. Well, no, they're across the way from each other.
Are they?
Yeah, yeah. They're both in Burbank. I worked at Schecter for a while.
A lot of times these places try to scapegoat the delivery process when, you know, you get a guitar and like the action's this high off the fretboard. Oh yeah, well, some settling may occur during the shipping thing or something like. No. I mean, like if you set it up right, I don't expect it to be set up perfectly, but it's like, but like I was pointing out the cheap guitars earlier to Matt that I got back there. One's 119, the other one, well, actually the $150 ones and thing. Those came set up perfectly. I mean, I didn't have to set anything up. I had to take the nut down on one, but
you got lucky.
You did. You got lucky.
Kind of dog.
I mean, I think you get a guitar, especially an inexpensive guitar where the neck may or may not be greatly cured. I mean, you send it through all the different climates.
Well, Dave,
here. I don't know.
Dave played the Telecaster. Dave played the Telecaster, right? The Leo James one. It had stainless steel frets.
I got this
pickups.
back from my tech. It's got a new bone nut in the neck here. I had a black Corian nut. It's great.
I will say though, $119 guitar, the frets weren't finished. They were leveled, but I need to polish them.
Send it back.
A couple hours. Yeah, right. I'm just happy that was the only thing wrong with it.
I think once you started talking about $119 guitars, Matt Cable fell asleep.
Yeah. It's like when you go to McDonald's to get the 29-cent hamburger. Oh, it's a little salty. Take it back. 29 cents.
I paid good money for this burger.
You ever watch any of Glenn Fricker's videos?
Sure.
Yeah.
I watched
that Ola England.
He went nuts because of the fucking battery.
He was ridiculous about it.
That was too much. And then he did another video when he had the battery and he gave them $2.50 for a setup for getting a battery. That's not a setup. That's the fucking,
they sent him a guitar without a 9-volt.
So they gave him a guitar and an errand.
Exactly.
That's not
and
great.
No, a guitar and a mission.
For the price he paid, I'm sure.
Well, look, I've got an opinion on that. I hate to be the guy that says this, but dude, if you got a guitar in it that doesn't have a battery in it, it means that those pickups weren't tested. It's like, okay, so you got a guitar, maybe it's half set up, but that's all you got.
They use one battery for testing. Put one battery in, test it, take the battery out, put it in the other one.
Yeah, I don't know.
We got to save money on those batteries.
The battery. I don't know. To me, it's a 9-volt. Who cares? That would be coming out of the guitar anyway, because I'd be putting in a passive pickup and getting that fucking crappy lace pickup out of there. It's an aluminum.
fisherman thing.
If you were buying a Solar, you'd be putting an active set in there.
Why's that?
Because nobody's buying a Solar unless they're playing metal.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like
he comes with
I can't
active. It
imagine that
comes
there's
with
a
the
big audience. There's not a big audience for a Lawler Imperial in the Solar.
But you know what? I liked that flying V. I thought the flying V was sexy. That white V.
that is
Glenn
beautiful.
Fricka was
Beautiful.
It is. And I thought, man, if that had like a Gibson pickup in it, it would sound even better.
I've met Glenn a few times, and I kind of like him, but he's almost not even a character. Like I fully expected the loud Glenn to be like a total character, but I've met him 3-4 times, and he's always kind of like he's a big curmudgeon, like a real life curmudgeon.
Yeah.
So he's not far off from that in person.
Right.
It's very funny.
I would imagine.
I think some of these people are like,
Get out of my yard.
I'll be back in a few minutes. I got to put the king to bed.
All righty.
Very good.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, I would imagine that's how he'd be like. But I thought that guitar was a good-looking guitar.
The Solar.
The Solar. And as far as how like he goes on about the setup, I mean, he just plays a couple of chords. It's not like he can play.
Yeah, no,
So it's like, okay, so I got to take that with a grain of salt. But again, I don't give a fuck how a guitar comes set up because I could change I mean, in all honesty, Dave, we pulled 1 million Fenders out of boxes and 1 million Gibsons out of boxes and 1 million PRSs out of boxes. Did any guitar completely blow us away where we didn't have to do a little tweaking? No.
Nope.
I mean, you know, I'm talking to John when John and I were at the store. We every day we're pulling out guitars and putting them on the wall every day. I mean, Fender now doesn't do a great setup. But
Well, yeah, I don't expect it to be perfect, but I mean, like, this.
And we would. What I'm saying is John and I would do the setups on it before we put it up on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're setting it up to how we like it. Somebody could come in and be like, I remember that one time. Do you remember the one time I set up a guy's guitar and he came back and complained about me?
I don't specifically.
Oh, the guy says to me, "Can you set up my guitar?" And I said, "Well, how do you want it set up? Do you want your bar floating or not?" He's like, "Well, how do you set it up?" And I said, "Well, I keep the bridge slammed because I do a lot of country bends and I don't want it that way. But I don't care how I want it. How do you want it?" He's like, "Set it up the way you would play it." So I did. He played it after I gave it back to him, and he was like, "This is great, whatever, blah, blah, blah." Well, he comes back like 2 days later. "The bar's too hard to push down. That fucking guy ruined my guitar."
What an idiot.
Oh, he was a douche. And I was just like, dude, I'm so glad. Because he used to come in all the time. I'm so glad we're going to get rid of you. And then whoever, I think it might have been either you or somebody else went. It could have even been Dawn. Went and just lowered the claw a little bit to make the bar easier. And I remember Dawn asked me, like, what happened with that? I said, I'm not even going to go into it. It's so fucking stupid. The guy asked me to set it up for him and told me how he wanted it. Because he asked me how I play mine. I told him, I said, well, it doesn't matter what I play. How do you want it set up? Because personally, I don't want to set up somebody else's guitar like that because it's more work. If I keep it floating, it's already how Fender does it.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember there was that guy with the SGs that I couldn't stand. And I booted him out of the store. Steve
Which
something.
The guy with SGs?
Oh, man, he kept buying
Well, there's
SGs.
there's that one guy that was like a real New York Steve something or another.
Yeah.
Real New Yorky guy, and he kept ordering. I remember he kept ordering stuff, special
That's
orders, and then he wouldn't take it because he wasn't happy with it or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I remember.
And it's like, he'd play it from the factory and be like, this isn't really set up well. Can they order me another one? I'm like, or we can just set it up how you like it. But people are dicks.
What was that? Well, there was a guy that I used to have to deal with. I can't remember who it was, but Steve, his name was also Steve something, but I can't. He owned like a studio or something, and he was like a little kid that when he ordered something, it had to stay sealed in a box.
Oh, yes. We had a
And
few of
so
those.
he would come in and he would open the box and then find out that there's a crack in it or something. Oh, and it's like, I could have saved you that trip.
Right.
You know, I could have told you, but oh well. Yeah, he was a pain. That guy used to always want to talk Rickenbacker all day long. I didn't know anything about Rickenbacker. I still don't know much about Rickenbacker.
Oh, speaking of Rickenbacker, I'm watching. I don't know if you guys watch the Midnight Special has been airing shows, and they got like maybe 10 out from 1973, and they had the Bee Gees on, and Morris, however you say his name, he's
Maurice.
playing a beautiful white 4001 with a black pickguard. It was the sexiest fucking Rickenbacker bass I've ever seen.
Yeah, I like the basses. I never understood the guitars.
Guitars are the necks are so damn thin. You can't. I mean, if you got man hands, you know they're hard to
The
play.
guitars are terrible.
Yeah, the
Terrible.
nut and the taper is like too narrow.
Yes.
Yeah, like Matt said. The other
It's
thing
so
is
bizarre, but the basses are awesome.
they lacquer over the rosewood as well, which it makes
Right.
a weird feeling. It's just weird
Yeah.
feeling.
But the basses, that 4000, Hannah Bomb, did you see the one when Maurice was playing that white Rickenbacker 4001 with the black guard? Oh, man. What a great looking bass.
Now I need to redo it.
I was like, that's what you want to, you know, at that point, I want to go to every gospel church and be like, I'm a bass player. I'd like to play here on Sunday.
Mhm.
How do you play? It doesn't matter. I have a white Rickenbacker bass with a black guard. Get in here. Get
That's
in here.
funny.
We need you right now. Because it looks like a church bass. It's that fucking bright ass white.
Do you have a
Yeah.
lime green suit and matching shoes and top hat?
Ah,
Come
love
on,
it.
come on, join the band.
Exactly. It's like the Peter Griffin thing. It's like, oh, today's the day we're supposed to ignore people's race. Have you seen Reggie around? She's
I
like,
saw
who's
that.
Reggie? He wears a yellow suit. He's got a gold chain with a dollar sign. Doesn't pay his alimony. He's saying all these. He drives a 1978 Mercury with a Mercury Cougar. And then finally this fucking white guy walks up and goes, oh, there he is. Hey, Reggie.
Right. It's amazing.
That's gold.
Oh,
That
so I
was
was
a great
mentioning
one.
I mentioned Prey earlier. Joe's not here now. Joe loved Prey, but they're making a second one. And I wanted to bring that up because you guys were talking earlier about what they made. What was the movie you were talking about where you were like, I can't believe they made a second one. It was terrible. I can't remember now.
Oh,
Anyway.
Jaws 2?
No, I love Jaws 2. Almost as much as Death Wish 2.
Did you guys see Elizabeth Banks when she was like,
She's the worst.
Spielberg never made a movie
let's
with a female lead?
We,
It's like it's somebody yells out The Color Purple, and in 2 seconds she's like, "Oh, I'm wrong." Oh, you're not just wrong. You're a cunt.
right. Yeah, well. We
Make a good movie before you start. Look, I'm not a big Steven Spielberg fan, but before you start disparaging the guy for what you think he did, make a movie better than him. Otherwise, shut your fucking hole. You know what I mean? It's like,
What was that fucking movie she made that bombed and she blamed it all on men because men didn't go see it? Or something?
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear is horrendous.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's unwatchable.
Yeah.
Well, just
No, it
the
wasn't-
name should tell you that.
It wasn't that
Again,
one, but
the
I know
only-
what you're talking about.
Been done right. I mean, it could have been.
It could have been
Cocaine.
great because you have what's her name, Margot Martindale.
Yeah.
She's great. She's great in everything. Look, when you could make her, you could go do a whole movie called Dewey Cox: The Early Years, and just have John C. Reilly playing a 10-year-old
Which would be
Dewey
brilliant.
Cox with Margot Martindale as his mom, and I'm watching the whole thing. It'll be 6 hours long. I'm in. Just have Marvel do the editing. It'll be 6 hours.
Matt, was it Charlie's Angels that bombed?
It was. I kind of think so, but it was some female-driven movie, and she you know, when it totally tanked, she was blaming it on men for not going because it was, you know,
It's
a
probably
chick movie.
it's
Who's in
probably that
Charlie's
one.
Angels?
But it's well, I mean, they've
The
done
newest
so many
one?
of
I
them
don't
over
Yeah,
the
the one
last
that she
20
did.
years.
I thought
The
it was
one that
something
she
else.
did?
Though.
Yeah, who's in
let's
the
see.
Charlie's Angels she directed?
The one she did, it's got her and Kristen Stewart and
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Drew
It wasn't.
Barrymore. Somebody named Ella Balinska.
This is Charlie's Angels. There are better
Yeah.
looking fucking girls walking the streets of Sunset Boulevard. What the hell is going on?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not sure.
she was saying it was all men's fault because they didn't go see the movie. It's like, well, the movie sucked, so that's why.
Well,
it
how do you
bombed.
know if you
It
never
sucked.
saw it? It might have been the best movie
Oh,
ever.
it's a,
Well, I didn't
it's
see.
like,
I
it.
gotta tell you
do you
by the
need to?
cast.
Why do you need the gender bend Bosley? I mean, like the film already has 3 women
I
as
don't
the
even
lead.
need to see that. I just see the cast, and I say if they're trying to sell these women as pretty, I have to suspend too much reality for this film, and I can't do it.
I don't understand.
They're pigs. That's not a Charlie's Angels are supposed to be the hottest women of the day. Farrah Fawcett Majors, Jacqueline Smith.
Kate
What was the
Jackson.
other one's name? Who played Sabrina?
Kate
Kate-
Jackson.
Kate Jackson, which was a stretch.
Didn't they do
But
one of those?
There's
like,
always
around
some dickhead who's
2010
like,
or
Kate
something?
Jackson was the pretty one. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, they did one in
Yeah, I like
2010
Jacqueline
as
Smith. I
well.
thought Jacqueline Smith was cute.
Yeah, she was great.
Oh no, that's
Who was she married to? Who's the white-haired guy she was married to with the blonde hair from back then?
Oh,
He was on every 70s show. Crab, either you know or you don't. You're not going to give me his name.
Bradford.
No.
But
That's why, I'll tell you right now, if you said Charlie's Angels is coming out, now somebody tell me who's a real attractive female out today. Jessica Biel. Something of that caliber.
Oh, is it Roger Davis?
Corey Chase. I got Joe's attention again. So, you know what I'm saying? If you tell me that would be, then you'd be, but like, what's the Kristen Stewart? Is that the girl from,
Oh no,
Twilight.
she was in all the Twilight movies.
don't do
she's
that.
terrible.
She just looks tired.
Always.
She's all right. She's tired. I'm tired most
She
of the
looks
time.
like
too.
a rube, a
Maybe
well-scrubbed hustling rube with little taste.
Maybe she's not eating enough fat. She's tired.
Yeah, of course she is. What was the guy's name that was married to Jacqueline Smith? Does anyone
It
fucking
was.
know?
I said Roger Davis, Dennis Cole.
Dennis Cole. God, how
okay.
can I not? You know who? Look
know
up
who
Dennis
this
Cole.
is.
You'll know who he is. He's in everything.
In the 70s.
Yes, in the 70s.
I'm
Dennis-
looking.
Do you remember him, Ben?
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
fucking Dennis-
okay, yeah. He's like a low budget Jan Michael Vincent.
I don't know who
Jan
Dennis
Michael
Cole is.
Vincent's the low budget Jan Michael Vincent.
I see this guy. I
okay,
don't
he was-
recognize him at
yeah.
all.
Who?
No, I've
Dennis
seen him.
Cole. You said he's in
That's because
everything.
you're too young.
I couldn't
That
tell you
guy,
one thing he's
that
been
guy
in.
stopped working in 1981. They handed him his papers. They said, "You're done."
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
don't
was
know,
in.
man.
You've never seen him in. He was on. Look at his filmography. It'll be.
I
like
know he was in
Love
like
Boat,
some of those soap opera movies, but
Fantasy
he was in
Island, Kojak.
Three's Company, played Brett Wade, Matt Houston.
He's in exactly everything from
Love
the
Boat.
70s. The guy's gold, by the way. He's gold.
Oh, so
Charlie's Angels, yeah.
last night I revisited a terrible movie.
Policewoman,
What
police.
movie?
It proved to be as terrible as I remember it. It was Anaconda.
Ah,
Oh,
Jennifer
jeez.
Lopez, John Voight. By the way,
John
John
Voight.
Voight's character in that is offensive. He is so bad in that it's unreal.
I think it was meant to be that way, though.
They've got John.
I
Voight
think that was purposely
kind of-
over the
kind
top.
of doing a little bit of like a cholo accent. What is John Voight doing with a cholo accent?
Oh, that's great.
the best.
He
thing
should have come
John
out and go,
Voight-
"My anaconda don't want none unless you've got funds, hon."
Yeah, they should have put Sir Mix-a-Lot in there instead of Ice Cube, because
Ice
Ice Cube
Cube,
was
yeah.
in it. Ice Cube might be the one that saves the movie. He's the only one that's likable.
Yeah.
Every
Oh,
other
Rich,
character in
Dennis
the
Cole
movie
was
is
huge.
terrible.
He was in everything in the set.
the
When I was a
best
kid,
thing-
Dennis Cole was like who's the guy that started Star Wagons? Lyle Wagner.
Wagner.
Oh, geez. Oh, my
Dennis
God,
Cole
yeah.
and Lyle Wagner run the 70s. They were Hollywood's bigwigs.
For TV.
Hey, John, what's
Yeah,
happening?
Lyle Wagner was on Carol Burnett.
Yep.
Yeah. In Wonder Woman.
And Roddy
think I've
McDowell, he
I think
was
I've seen
also
this
in
guy
that.
before.
Who's that?
Lyle Wagner.
Oh, he was on he owns Star
Wonder
Wagons.
Woman.
You know that was his company.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I
It's
recognize
when they
this
film
guy.
movies and they always have those campers on the side of the sets that says Star
Oh, okay.
Wagons. That's him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where I've seen this guy before, but I've definitely seen this guy before.
Wonder
Maybe
Woman. Was he on
Wonder
Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. He would always
Lyle
be.
Wagner. Yep.
He would
maybe.
always be a special guest on the Carol Burnett show.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I was saying the best thing John Voight ever did was bite Kramer.
Was what?
Yeah. His pencil.
Big Kramer.
Yeah, that's John Voight, the
Got his
dentist.
tooth marks on the pencil, yeah.
What do you mean that's John Voight, the dentist? Not John Voight, the actor. John.
You bought
That's a
John
great
Voight's
one.
car? Yeah.
How about John Voight and Deliverance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does he put in a good performance?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't think there was a lot of range to the role, but
What movie is this?
Deliverance.
Oh.
Well, Ned Beatty had the hardest part.
Yeah.
I thought Burt Reynolds was good in
That's-
that.
Yeah.
I much prefer Death Wish 2.
Oh, great fucking movie. I saw that in the theater.
Rich says Linda Carter had a great body. Wonder Woman was outstanding. Linda Carter was great. She's excellent on a little show called Battle of the Network Stars.
Great.
Where she
I
goes.
have every episode.
It's the
Goes in the
and
pool.
a young Gabe Kaplan is squaring off with Telly Savalas, the tug of war. The fucking drama that fucking Cosell brings to those bullshit games.
He's a genius. He's a
He
genius.
really
He kicks-
is.
He kicks friggin' Robert Conrad's ass in the
A
fucking.
young Robert Conrad. And now Linda Carter is getting on the board to get into the swimming meet.
My
Oh,
father loved him.
I didn't know-
Great.
I didn't know Ronnie Cox was in Deliverance. I
Yeah.
have to go back and watch
Yeah.
Deliverance again.
Yeah, he was the
Oh,
guitar
yeah.
player.
Yeah, he played with
he
the
plays with the dueling banjos.
played with Joe Biden on the porch there.
That's it.
Exactly.
I'll have to go back and watch that. I haven't seen the movie in a long time.
Wait, isn't Ronnie Cox also in the movie The Car with James
Car?
He
Brolin?
probably is. He probably is. He's in everything in the 70s, too.
Can somebody look that up? I want to know who was with James
The Car.
Brolin. I think it's Ronnie Cox, but he looks like in that movie. He looks like who's the guy in Shameless? William H Macy.
William H. Macy, yeah.
You are correct,
looks-
sir.
It is Ronnie
You are
Cox.
Correct.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Ah, he's great in The Car.
I don't know the car.
Oh, The Car is the silliest
Yeah.
horror movie. I saw it at 9 years old in the theater. Me and
It's up
RL
there-
saw it.
It's up there with
Hey, I don't-
Killdozer.
Yeah, I remember Killdozer.
Killdozer.
I still remember
young Scott
reading that in the TV
Baio.
guide going, hey, it's on tonight.
Wait,
Kim
who else
Richards
did you-
is in the
Who else
car.
did you say was in it? James Brolin?
Yeah.
I don't
Josh
see. I
Brolin's
don't see.
father.
I don't see Ronnie Cox in here. There's R.G. Armstrong.
I'm looking at the cast right now. I don't see James Brolin listed on the cast.
James
Of the
Brolin's
car?
top.
He should be the
Yeah,
first
well,
one. He's a
I wonder-
star.
Wade
No,
Parent. Yeah,
I believe you. I'm just wondering why Google doesn't bother to mention it.
I don't see Ronnie Cox in
Oh, there he
here.
is. He's way down the list. He's almost at the very end of the list. How crazy is that? Ronnie Cox is the second on the list behind Kathleen Lloyd.
What are you looking on IMDb?
Nah, just Google. I just typed in
okay.
Car 1977 cast. And
Okay,
it
this
lists
is-
Oh, he's
everybody.
also
Podcast.
he's in RoboCop. I had to kill
Yeah.
Bob Morton. He's also in Total Recall, Rich.
Yep.
I like James Brolin. James Brolin plays Jeff's dad in Community. And I don't know if you ever got down with Community, but it's in RL and JB favorite.
Oh, a Community is the one with Chevy Chase. That show and yeah. Who
Yeah,
was on it? James Brolin?
James Brolin plays Jeff's dad, and Jeff is the one that's played by I can't think of his name. The guy that used to be on E.
John Tesh.
Oh, I don't.
No, not John.
No, I know who you're talking about. I can't
Jeffrey
remember. his name.
Winger. Yeah, let's see here. Jeffrey Winger.
You need to see
name
the
should
car.
be in my head,
John.
but it's not. Oh, it's
You gotta
Joel
see
McHale.
You got to see the movie The Car.
Yeah, it sounds like I do.
It's probably 90 minutes long, if that, and it's silly, but it's
I
you
still
know
remember
it's
the
a silly
advertisements
horror.
of that on TV.
It's like a devil car. The car is
Yeah.
possessed by the devil. It's great,
Sounds
What
good.
and
movie?
the car looks fucking.
The
great.
car.
Oh yeah.
What kind of
What
car?
is that thing? It's like an old Lincoln, but it's been.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It's like a Lincoln Mark IV or something that's been modified.
Yeah, the guy that made that was the same guy that did the Batmobile.
Yes.
George
Are you
Dallas.
talking about the Batmobile and the brand new one that Dave
It's a
was advocating
71
for?
Lincoln Continental Mark III Black Coupe.
A Mark III.
I still haven't been able to bring myself to watch the 2022 Batman that you advocated for.
Oh, I didn't advocate. I said watch it, but I did not enjoy
The
it.
first hour. Yeah, the first
If
hour.
I
was
and a
enjoyed.
half
I did. I
hours.
said the first.
And I
Yeah,
really don't.
I said the
really
Joker
don't
was
like
good.
The fact I don't like the fact that they used a Mustang as the car.
Batmobile?
yeah, it wasn't as cool.
Well, I mean, like, there's so many cool classic cars to choose from, and you pick the most vanilla one, the most easily recognizable one. It's just not interesting. Like,
What's
why a
his name? Is it
Mustang?
Colin Farrell in that movie that plays the Penguin?
Yep.
Colin Farrell plays the Penguin?
Yeah, he's under a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of makeup.
I like
lot of
that.
You
makeup.
you don't even recognize him.
Yep.
Yeah, Rich. Yeah.
So is he like an emperor penguin with those big old eyebrows?
Oh, it's he's good in it. And like I said, it's just too long. It's the typical Marvel / DC. We don't know how to edit stuff down, so we're gonna make you suffer with 3 hours of the slowest moving movie ever. Instead of give me an hour and a half of just fucking excitement. Which, like, when you read a comic book, you're never committing. Like, comic books are always thin. You're never committing to like a long thing.
They've got
These guys, it's like what?
Andy Serkis is playing Alfred.
Yes.
That's terrible. Why do
Yeah.
they have Gollum playing?
Yeah.
Ah, the
Well,
great
actually-
Danton.
Yeah, before he started doing all the the
Yes, the
animation
cards.
acting and stuff, I saw him in a few movies. That
Andy Serkis, he
Batman.
plays Tesla's assistant in The Prestige. Ah, the
Mhm.
great
Let me see.
Danton. Have you guys seen The Prestige?
Nope.
not in a while, but yes, I have.
Oh, Matt, that's a movie. That's a must-see movie. Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, David Bowie plays Nikolai Tesla. It's fantastic. Really a great movie. And Michael Caine.
Who's this Nikolai Tesla fella?
You've seen that, haven't you, John? You've seen The
What?
Prestige.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Oh, it's so good.
I seem to remember you very much liking that and The Departed, if I remember correctly.
I hate The Departed.
I don't think you always did, though.
Andy Serkis plays bad guy in Galaxy Quest. Yeah. And need I remind you, RL, that my ship will tear yours like tissue paper. And need I remind you,
Well, what the fuck was the name of the bad guy in there?
Cyrus?
Saris.
Cirrus.
Cyrus, yeah. RL, isn't Andy Serkis the one who goes, the great Danton? I've seen your act. I know RL's a big Prestige fan. There was also a movie out the same year about magicians called The Illusionist. You guys remember The Illusionist with
Paul
Ed,
Giamatti and Ed Norton.
Ed Norton? That's a good movie. Not as good, but very good.
Do you remember
remember
the
that one.
series The Magician with Bill Bixby?
Yes, I do. I used to watch that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
They always release these movies in pairs, don't they? They have like the one that's going to be the hit and the one that's going to be the poor man's version. They did that year with the volcano movies.
RL is in the chat.
One-
RL,
Yeah, Dante's Peak.
RL,
Right.
tomorrow they
Dante's Peak
hire
and
you.
Volcano.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, RL, they hire you to cast a new Charlie's Angels. Just give me one actress that would be in the Angels. And I guarantee it
Margot
won't be one of the
Robbie.
fucking... Oh, RL says Stam Fine, who's a YouTube channel, reviews and goes over the show The Magician with Bixby. Highly recommended.
Wow.
Stam Fine's excellent. Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I
haven't
watched
seen
that. That actually wasn't a bad movie.
Is that the
Oh, it's
extra?
a movie.
He's just this low life that he just figures he can, by going to the scenes of accidents and all this stuff, and just become like a on the scene photographer, getting people's faces and stuff. He makes millions of dollars.
Elliot
You know what I
Page,
thought?
Elliot Page for Charlie's Angels, according
Oh,
to
Jesus
Christopher Valdez.
Who's Elliot Page?
Used to be Ellen Page.
Oh,
Jesus.
no.
Well, during the operation, they should have sewed her mouth up too.
Hello.
You know,
She
if
gets on my
Michael J.
fucking
Fox
nerves.
didn't have Parkinson's,
why are you paying attention?
I'd be pitching them remaking the movie The Mask with Michael J. Fox. RL, good call. Ellie the Empress
I don't know who that
is RL's choice. If you want to know who Ellie the Empress is that RL is suggesting, just go on Instagram and type in what he wrote. Ellie the Empress.
I don't
Gold.
want to.
Again, RL, that would not be on the show because that's Elizabeth Banks is not casting that. And that's why no one saw the movie. If Ellie the Empress was one of the angels, I guarantee there would be a fucking full theater.
So you're talking about the mask as in the
Rocky Dennis.
the Elephant Man. Yeah. Why
What is
Michael J. Fox for the
What is
mask?
Dave freaking out about?
The meatloaf, Mom. The meatloaf.
Crazy.
What was that all about?
It's not doing well. Cross asking just questions about stuff. It's like non sequiturs.
Love it.
10:31, guys. I don't
The,
think Steve's showing up.
The
All of a sudden, he pops on now. Hey guys.
No,
So
RL,
what-
exactly. That's how my whole point was. You get Michael J. Fox to do The Mask.
why is Michael J. Fox, is he playing Rocky Dennis?
Well, he should, but Eric Stoltz played Rocky Dennis. But then Eric Stoltz, they shot for 6
Okay,
weeks.
wait.
Yeah, far.
No,
You-
but
you-
why
you-
is Michael J.
wait,
Fox
wait,
playing Rocky
wait.
Dennis
That's two
now?
different
I know
movies.
he's getting that.
Two
I know he's
different.
getting that.
Wait. You guys are talking about two different. The Mask is Jim Carrey. Mask.
Mask
is
what I'm
you're
talking
saying
about.
The
Yeah.
Mask. When you say
Oh, no. The Eric Stoltz vehicle, Mask.
When you're saying The Mask, though, I'm thinking Jim Carrey. You know.
Oh,
because
no.
that's-
I'm talking about he goes and replaces Eric Stoltz, and I still want him in the fucking the sleeveless vest. Like in Back to
Back
the
to the
Future.
Future.
I wanted him to do it lighthearted. There's a whole big thing that, like, I don't know if you've seen it. Once you watch one on YouTube, you'll see them all. But Eric Stoltz, they filmed for 6 weeks doing
Yep.
the Back to the Future, and
And he's
Zemeckis
still in the
hated
movie.
it.
Oh,
Zemeckis
got it.
hated him,
That's the joke.
and so they finally they brought in. Here's Ryan now in our group.
Yeah, something I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Hey, always just puts in music stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Rocky Dennis for Halloween's a great fucking man. That's a great one.
I
Do you have
don't
the
even have to
mask
wear a-
for it?
I don't even have to
No,
wear a
it's not the mask for it. I have mask for it.
What are you talking about?
I don't want Matt to think that I have the mask for the Jim Carrey movie. I have mask as Eric Stoltz as Rocky Dennis. Oh, there's a Netflix. I like the guy Tom that played Biff, and he talks about working with Stoltz and what a dick
Tom
he is.
Wilson.
Wasn't Stoltz in Fast Times?
Oh yeah,
Yep. One of the stoners.
I want to shoot that
was
movie all
him,
over
Anthony
too. have it
Edwards,
be
and
Michael J.
Spicoli.
Fox as one of Spicoli's buddies. Can you imagine to go back like you have a vendetta against Eric Stoltz, and so you go recast all the movies with the same people except him in it. So like they reshoot. By the way, guys, real quickly, I said before, Betsy Russell or Phoebe Cates. How about Linda Barrett versus Stacey Hamilton?
I don't know who any of those people are.
Well, that's the same. That's Phoebe Cates and what's her name?
Jennifer Jason
Vic Morrow's daughter, Jennifer Jason. Leigh.
oh, what are you?
Well,
why are you?
Agreed, RL.
well, Jennifer Jason Leigh put out that friggin' Phoebe Cates just talked about it.
To everyone that she met.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah, and she tried
the
getting the
interesting part of that
nerd, but
movie.
the nerd didn't take it.
yeah.
Ratner
Ratner.
couldn't. Ratner didn't get the clue in her bedroom, and she's sitting on him. And I gotta go. What the fuck?
Wherever you are, that's
There
where
you
you
are.
want to be. Isn't this great?
Damone's great.
Oh yeah.
I know you're a big fan of Damone.
You know, Damone's.
Oh yeah.
Do you know Damone's older brother
Yep.
was on The Sopranos?
Yep.
He played
And he
Mel
was in Mean
Fee's
Streets
husband.
too.
He
Yep.
was in Mean Streets. He played Michael in Mean Streets.
You need dog food? You hungry?
And his name is Robert Romanus. No, Richard Romanus.
Richard
Robert's
Romanus. Roberts.
Robert's
Damone.
Damone.
I think we got to thank our guest for not being here tonight.
Yeah, I want to thank Steve Rosen for coming.
No list tonight.
Yeah, we're done.
Well,
I'm
we'll
gonna
do a
smoke a
list of the
cigar.
top 5 guests that haven't shown up.
Yeah.
All right.
Who's in the
I got-
couch
We're
trip,
off.
RL?
I got to bounce.
Oh, you're right. Richard Romanus is. You're right.
I'll see you folks. I got to bounce.
Take care.
All right. Very
Yep,
good.
later, John.
I want to thank everyone. Thank Matt, Joe, Krellbar, Steve Rosen. Thank you all being here tonight.
Yeah.
And where's my outro? Okay. Anybody else have anything to say in the chat? RL, I'll message you when I'm done because I got to go burn a cigar.
Very
It's
good.
been a long day, Helen. And I don't think there's anything for me to watch tonight. No, I'm too.
Oh, I didn't
tired.
even see my brother was in the chat.
Yeah, I said John.
Oh, okay.
All right. Good night, guys.
Yeah, good
night,
All right,
everyone.
everyone. Thanks so much, John. When you get up here, okay, goodbye, Ted. John, when you come back here, we got to smoke. We'll see you soon. And as always, everybody, very good.